Honeybees, wild and domestic, perform about 80% of all pollination worldwide. A single bee colony can pollinate 300 million flowers each day. Fruits, nuts, and vegetables are pollinated by bees. 70 out of the top 100 human food crops, which supply about 90% of the world's nutrition, are pollinated by bees. Hey there, welcome back. I'm terrified. Today I'm at my friend Carrie's house. You've met Carrie before. We've done caving together, we've done some bike trips together, and tonight we're going to do beekeeping. Well, actually Carrie is, but I'm going to learn about bees tonight, and hopefully you will too. So I hope you enjoy our adventure tonight because it'll be fun, and this is the look of terror on my face. And Carrie's dog is barking at me. So come on, let's go check it out. All right,
go,
what are we doing?
We're gonna suit you up. We're gonna take you out to the bees.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so hair up.
Hair up.
Hair up. So with bees, I understand there's the queen, obviously. And
Yes.
there's the drones.
Yep.
And the workers. Can you
Right.
tell me a little bit about that?
So the queen bee runs the hive. She is the boss.
Yeah,
The worker bees are all the females,
yeah,
and the drones are the males.
okay.
And the workers do all the work.
What does
The-
that mean? Getting that, making honey?
Yeah, they do all the foraging. They rear all the babies. They look after the hive. They do all the cleaning. They do everything. The drones mate with the queen, and that's it. At the end of the summer, they kick all the drones out.
And where do they go?
They die.
Oh my, okay.
This is the little workstation.
This is your workstation.
This is my workstation.
Nice.
So this is the roof. Keep them protected through the winter,
Yeah,
the rain, the shade a little bit.
yeah. You have a horse?
Yeah, there's a horse over there
Oh
too.
my gosh.
Lucky.
Lucky. Do you ever ride?
No, no. She's Jane's horse. So this is the weed patch that needs to get ripped out and plant some new seeds, but it's the only flowers I have right at the moment that are wild and going.
Yeah,
So we're gonna open up the hives.
yeah.
Gonna make sure that there's enough space in them for honey, and make sure there's no queen cells, that nothing's gonna swarm and everybody seems happy.
So that's the smoker?
This is the smoker. Yeah, it's starting to burn out, but it's a good one from years and years ago. I kind of inherited it. So I'm using burlap sacks I use to light it, and I also throw in a little bit of cedar just to get it going. And I just use this little, like that. Let it go.
So you said you've been doing this for 10 years now?
Oh, probably closer to 20 on and off. The kids were still small.
Yeah.
There was an elderly guy that used to come to the farm, and he kept his bees on our dairy farm, and he needed help lifting everything off, and he didn't walk so good. He was diabetic, so I would always go and help him. And then when he moved back to Saskatchewan, he asked if he could find anybody to buy all the equipment, he would sell it.
Oh.
So this hive is just starting to come up into this super, which is a honey super. So they live. Yep, they live in the bottom. That's where their house is.
Okay,
they lay
so
their eggs
They're living down there.
in the bottom.
In the
And then the
bottom.
top ones, I'm breathing in the smoke,
Oh.
is a honey super. So this is just what they've done. So I'm just gonna set this one aside.
Oh.
And in here, see, this is, I just put this one on probably last week. So this is how they start. Actually, they start like this. This is a brand new hive. There's nothing on it. It's just plastic,
Okay.
right?
So that's just plastic. I wondered
It's
what
plastic,
that was.
but it's got a bit of wax on it. It's been dipped in wax.
Okay.
And then the bees come along and they start building the honeycomb.
Oh.
You see that honeycomb? See, it's all...
Oh, yeah.
So they start building it, they draw it out. And in order to draw it out, they need to eat a fair amount of honey actually to draw it out. Yep, stuck like glue. So now, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to lift it very far, I'm gonna just steal this lid. That is probably 60, 70 pounds.
Wow. No wonder you're so strong.
I don't know. That took everything. I'm gonna have to get my husband to put it back. I don't think I'll be able to lift it.
I could help you, maybe.
Yep, it might take two of us.
Okay.
And now this little wire cage is so that the bees can get through and make their honey, but the queen can't get through. She's too big.
Ah.
So the queen stays in the bottom. So this, I'm gonna take this off.
Okay, now the bees are coming towards me.
This is where the queen will be on
Oh,
in
the
here.
queen. So there'll still be honey in there?
Yep, there'll still be honey in here because they'll have honey to feed their babies.
Oh.
And then there should be like eggs and all different stages of bees. Queens take about 16 days to hatch. Worker bees take around, I think, I was gonna say around 22 days to hatch. You're testing me here. And drones take about 24 to 26 days to hatch. So drones take the longest to hatch.
Okay.
Queens are the shortest to hatch.
Interesting.
How much honey do you think one bee produces in its lifetime?
Oh my gosh, I can't even guess at that.
About 1/12 of a teaspoon.
Oh my gosh. 1/12 of a teaspoon.
So you think of how much honey is there.
Yeah.
How many bees did it actually take to produce that is crazy.
Wow.
So let's see if I can see different bees here.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the large hive, right,
Yeah.
from last year. And this is the bottom of the box. So this is where the queen is living and laying her eggs and raising her young.
Yeah.
When you look at bees, you'll have bees that look like these ones. These are regular worker bees. Then you'll see this one over here with great big eyes.
Ooh.
That's a drone, that's a male.
Okay.
See, there's a male there too. And now, see, there's a male. See this one right here?
Male.
Male. Now look at this one right here. Can you see that? There's a queen
That's the queen.
right here. That black one.
Oh, wow.
You see her?
Yeah. I hope the...
That was a pretty easy find. Holy
Wow.
smokes.
That is
Sometimes it's
amazing.
not so easy.
Yeah.
So she is on a frame that is almost all honey.
Capped.
Capped honey.
Capped honey.
This is completely full of capped honey. That one is half full of capped honey.
Okay.
So she's on this frame, which means I need to be super careful because
Yeah.
you don't want to accidentally kill her. And there she is, right there. Right? You see that?
Oh.
You see her?
Kinda.
Oh yeah, it's long tail there.
A drone. You see that one?
Yeah.
And drones can't sting.
Oh, drones don't sting.
No, drones can't sting.
That's a fun fact.
And
I like
there's
drones.
another drone. So you like the males. You don't like the female, the
Well, I
worker
like them
bees.
too, but I
And then
just
all of
don't
this,
like being stung.
all of this is pollen, or you call it bee bread. Like the bees make that to feed their young.
Bee bread?
Yeah, that's what their bee bread. All that's babies. See how it looks different? So this here is honey.
Yes.
This here is babies.
Oh my goodness.
And that's probably going to start hatching in the next little bit.
That is amazing.
On this frame right here, we have honey on the ends, and it probably goes right across the top. And then in the middle, we have white, it looks like little white larvae. So there's eggs in here, if you look in there. Then there's black stuff, or like really dark purple color. Can you see that? That would be pollen.
Oh, pollen.
Yeah. So they take all the different to feed their young. So on a normal hive, or a good hive, you would have the honey on the outside, then you would have your eggs, and you'd have like a little strip of pollen and stuff. So this one here has eggs, and there's like, if you look really tiny, look closely, you would see there's a tiny little egg. So she's just laid eggs on this one probably today.
Wow.
It's a good queen.
Yeah.
It's a good queen.
It's a really good queen. This hive is doing really good. So I'm not gonna lift this box and look into the bottom one today.
Nope.
Because if you look down there, it's full. It's completely full. I've already found the queen. I know that there's lots of larvae going on. There's lots of babies. Oh, here's another fun fact. So see how this looks different than this?
Yes.
These are females. These are males.
Really?
So the males are bigger, right? They have a bigger head. They got great big eyes. They take up more space. And these ones here are the females, the worker bees.
And they take up less space.
Less space. They're smaller. And they're born. And then if you saw a big one hanging in the middle, that would be a queen cell.
A queen cell?
Yeah, which means they're trying to raise a new queen.
Oh, wow.
But they haven't on this one.
So much to learn.
Always. And you don't know any of it. Like, you think you know it, but you don't. And what's right in one hive might not be the same down the road.
Just like in the community.
Yep. It's all different. And now the next thing to learn is bees will get mites.
Mites?
Mites. Which would be like a flea. Like if a dog got a flea,
Right.
a bee can get mites. So you have to be very careful and you have to check them. I'm not going to do it today, but you can do mite checks. You'd have to read up on that one.
Mite
Scoop
checks.
up a cup of bees, put them in a jar. Some people roll them in icing sugar, and then you shake them all off and you count how many mites you have. Then you decide whether you're going to do a treatment or not.
And how do you treat that?
There's different ways. There's organic chemicals that you would use. Oxalic acid is what I normally use. So there's a few different treatments.
Hi, Dean.
Hey, Judy.
Do you like doing this, honey? Or do you like doing the bees too?
Oh, not yet.
Oh, you're the strong guy. You have to lift it on.
Yeah, probably.
Whoa.
It's heavy. Be careful.
Oh my gosh, you don't have anything like on. Have you ever been stung?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't bother me.
No.
Except wasps are out right now, so be careful. Okay, I'll do that part. Okay,
Good
so
job.
now
They love me.
With the bee whisperer.
one's passable. And yeah, you do squish a few.
Oh, do you?
But we know the queen's on the bottom. So
Okay.
even if we squished a couple, we know we didn't squish the queen.
That's good.
Right? So that's good.
Don't want to squish the queen.
Nope. So now, you hear that? They're humming now.
Ooh.
Just want to get the rest of the bees out of the lid. This hive is from a friend of ours who had a bee swarm in their yard.
Oh.
And they already had enough bees and they didn't want any more.
Yeah.
They didn't have enough equipment to keep going. And so they gave us this swarm. And
So if people see a swarm, they call you and you will go pick it up?
yeah.
Wow.
And that's, yeah, sometimes it can be very exciting. Because there's like hundreds of thousands of bees all flying all over the place. And,
Yeah.
and they'll hang, you'll see like a big pile of bees, like thousands of them all clung together, hanging on a branch or a fence or sometimes on the ground. And they're all protecting, the queen is in the middle.
Wow.
So what happens is if the bees don't have any space to grow or expand their hive, if their boxes are all full and there's nowhere else to go, the bees will eat as much honey as they can and they'll leave and look for a new home. Because in the wild, that's what they would do.
Yeah.
So if they do swarm, you do have a healthy hive. It's not a bad thing. It just means you have a healthy hive. Can you see eggs in there? So every single tiny little hole has a white piece of rice in the bottom, or it looks like rice. Can you see that?
Not really.
If you look closely in the sun, I can see it. There's a tiny little egg in the bottom, which means the queen just laid that, because they look like pieces of rice.
Wow.
Can you make out males and females on there?
So the females are smaller,
Yeah,
the males are larger.
yeah. So like there'd be a male.
Yeah. Whoa. So you can see larvae?
Yeah.
I just figured out the reason why I can't see is because I don't have my reading glasses on, which is really unfortunate because I wish I could see the things that you were seeing properly. I mean, I can kind of when you point them out.
Yeah. So let me see. Look at the honey dripping.
Oh my
So
gosh.
right in here,
Yeah.
this area, you can see a little white worm,
Worm.
but it's not a worm. It's a bee larva.
A bee larva.
So in the other ones, I can see a tiny little egg. And then there's bee larva. So there's different stages in here.
I hope when I watch the video clips that I will be able to see the things clearly that you speak of. Whoa. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy. This is a good workout. You go up and down.
That's all honey.
Up and down. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
If you didn't have your gloves on, I'd say taste it. Stick your finger in it and taste it.
Okay, now what do I do with it?
Slide it back down really carefully.
Oh my god.
And then you see how there's little grooves in there? So we're gonna put it closer to you. And we're gonna lift up the next one.
Did I do it right?
Yeah. So now here's your tool.
Oh my gosh.
And hook it the other end.
Oh my
The
god.
hook.
Yeah.
Put it this away. Yep.
I wasn't paying attention because I was watching you.
Like this.
Yeah.
And then you use that to lift it. And then you're going to go to the other side and unhook it, because that just helps if it's glued.
Oh, because the propolis.
That's it, yeah. Okay, now set your tool down.
Okay.
And then pick it up.
Whoa. Gentle.
And do you see any eggs, or is it just wax?
Whoa.
Let's see the back side.
What's there?
All honey.
It's what?
All honey.
Excellent.
It's perfect. Okay,
Woo.
put it back down really carefully. And now they're starting to build on the other frames, which is all good.
You found the queen, Carrie?
Yeah, she's right there. So she's brown with a little black tip. She's a brunette.
A brunette. Aw. So they look a lot different, each one?
Yes, the other bee was quite dark. She was pretty dark.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit lighter. Oh, there she is right there. She's gonna crawl. She's right there.
She's a redhead.
Redhead.
No, no redhead. If she was redhead, yeah, no, she's not.
Just like people, we all have distinct traits.
Yeah. And they also have distinct traits whether they're hygienic bees. So they'd be like, if you have a bee that keeps a clean hive,
Ooh.
and they'll clean out after the babies have hatched. If they go in and they clean out the frames, like they clean out the honeycombs and they get it ready for the queen to lay eggs again, and it's nice and shiny and glossy. They've done a really good job cleaning it. If they clean themselves and groom themselves, they'd be less likely to have mites.
Okay.
So you can have some hives that are very hygienic and they'll clean up and they'll get rid of, and then you'll have other hives that are not near as hygienic.
Just like people.
Yeah, and you can have traits. So if you've got a hive that's not doing very good, you get rid of that queen, then she starts to lay eggs with better traits.
Wow. I'm learning so much. This is so interesting.
So I'm happy with this hive. I can close it up. The hive has space for growth. The hive has honey. Not a lot of it, but it's got some honey. It's got all different stages of larva. It's got an active queen, I don't see any queen cells on the frames that I've pulled out. There's nothing saying that they're trying to build a new queen and get rid of their queen. So to me, this hive is doing really good. Small, but it's still doing good. So I wouldn't change anything.
Nice.
Other than I might feed it a little bit just because I'm trying, again, to build it as big as I can before the winter. And when I say feed it, I would make a sugar syrup and I would feed it sugar syrup, and then they would use that as a substitute to feed their babies. So then the queen might lay more. She might lay faster.
Interesting.
If you look right here, right where my finger is,
Yeah.
gotta move the bees. Let me get my tool. So right, where was it? Right in here?
Yeah.
Look at his little antennas are coming out.
Oh.
So she's chewing her way out.
Oh my gosh.
She's hatching. You see that?
I can.
Yeah, she's trying to climb out.
That's amazing. You can do it. So Carrie, do you leave these out in the winter?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the bees, in the summertime, bees will live for a couple months,
Okay.
right? They'll just keep rotating. They'll work so hard that they only live a couple months. But in the wintertime, in the fall, you will have your queen lay your winter bees. So it's like a stronger bee. They're not out foraging. They're not out looking for nectar. Their only job is to protect the queen and look after the queen
Right.
and keep the hive going all winter.
Okay.
So the winter bees will live for like 6 months, and they build a little heat nest or a little ball. They'll all stick together,
Yeah.
and they'll stay inside your hive, and they'll eat the honey that you've left in there, pollen patties, or you feed them in the fall if you've
With
taken
the pollen patties.
Yep, you
I learned
feed them,
that.
and
There you go.
sugar syrup,
And sugar syrup.
and you the bees will eat whatever they've got put away for the winter, or sometimes you make bee candy also, which is
Ooh.
like fudge for bees.
Ooh, yum. I think I'd like to eat that.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Well, you know me.
Yeah, and then the bees will live through winter if you're lucky.
Yeah.
They can stay fairly warm. It's the moisture that you have to be really careful.
Right.
So what Dean built me is a board that looks like this, and we call it a quilt board, and it's got like burlap sack on the bottom, and I put this just underneath the lid on top of the brood box. We put this in there and we fill it full of sawdust, and the moisture from the condensation that the bees create goes into this wood,
Oh my.
into the sawdust.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't drip back down onto the bees, because the bees will die from moisture before they die of cold.
Oh, interesting.
Especially here on the island. We don't
Right.
have that many.
Yeah.
It's not that cold,
Generally.
generally. Yeah, we have more problems with rain. And that's the other reason why we have this roof over top to help with the rain. We from the
Nice.
field, because we live on the edge of a farm,
Right.
we get a lot of wind and a
Mm.
lot of rain.
Right. Carrie, that was so interesting. I am amazed at how much you know about all these bees, and in awe of you, who's not afraid of these bees.
Oh, I have been. I
Yeah.
have been stung, but I love it.
And you're even allergic, and you still
A
love
little
it.
bit allergic
Yeah,
still,
a little bit allergic. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a lot tonight about bees. And remember, if you see a swarm, what do?
Call me
Call Carrie.
or call Judy.
Oh gosh. Send me a message.
Local bee club, don't ever spray them with water.
Right.
Don't spray them with chemicals. They're very harmless. They won't hurt you. Even if you see a swarm flying around,
Yeah.
they're more worried about trying to find a place to live. They're
Right.
not out to get you.
Right. And I think that a lot of people mistake bees for wasps, and so they do try and kill them. So that's a good point, that don't kill the bees. Wasps, well, they're kind of rude, but bees, we need the bees, don't we?
We do. We
Why
need
do
the
they
bees
why do we need the bees?
to pollinate
Pollinate
everything.
everything. Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
thanks for
Carrie.
coming.
Thank you so much. This was really exciting. And I missed you too, because I don't work with Carrie anymore, and it's really, really sad.
Yeah, we missed Judy too. But we had brownies at work today.
And you thought of me, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Carrie. So interesting. I hope you support your local beekeepers, or go learn something about the bees, because we need those. We need those bees.